Yo, it's 2021, Glory. How are you doing on this fine 2021 Monday evening, January 4th, 2021? Did you know it's 2021 yet?
It's 20. Is it 2021?
Actually, I wish it was 2022. I mentally checked out for this year already.
That's completely valid.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a great year, and we're gonna do great.
big things. Big
Big
things.
things. Big things.
Big things.
Okay. So
Uh,
today is the half year in review. The rest of the last year that we did, right?
well, I haven't introduced the podcast yet. So,
Oh,
hi. Welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And as Glory prematurely introduced, we're doing the second part of the half year in review. Everything from
Yes.
January to most of December, besides the stuff we haven't gotten a chance to talk about because we're burned out by the time we get to the December albums. So it's only
Yep.
fair that we chat about them next week.
Hmm.
This is not a cohesive list of
No.
everything that came out in those 6 months because we would
Nope.
be here forever.
Yep.
This is
Just
the
stuff we spoke about.
this is
Yeah.
the stuff we spoke about and the stuff that we think deserves to be talked about again, whether it was good, bad, or just mediocre. It's the stuff we probably enjoyed the most because we talked about a lot more shit than's on this list.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
it's
we
also
should.
compressed to mainly just albums and EPs. If we did singles as well, we'd be here for a couple hours.
Oh my god, we'd be here forever. There's not very many EPs on here. It's mostly just
There's like
albums.
two. Yeah.
EPs are just the ones that we thought were really good and deserve to be talked about again. And then Bring Me the Horizons EPs on here because it was my album of the year. I think we should just put this disclaimer out here beforehand because a bunch of these bands are poopy. Fuck
Um,
them if they're poopy.
yeah.
I think that should just be
We don't agree with anything they've said, and if they're
or
bad,
done.
I probably didn't like their stuff anyways, because usually they put out bad stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, we're
We
just here
sh-
to make fun of them. And if Shane likes them, then talk about how much Shane likes them, and me say, oh, I actually hated it.
yeah,
So,
actually, I hated it. So
balance.
we balance everything out here. Before we get started, if you haven't watched our album of the year thing, we just kind of dropped that one and dipped. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on all the audio streaming platforms. That's the first podcast episode we've recorded that wasn't live.
It was weird.
That was interesting. We're never doing that shit again.
No.
No.
Ah.
And we did
Except
a
probably
festival.
for our next album.
Yeah,
Album
because I
of
don't
the
want
year
to
thing.
stream that shit at like a Wednesday evening
No,
at
exactly.
9:30
Yeah.
at night when we're both
Well,
like,
exactly.
I'm
If
free
we just
for
get to
2
do-
seconds. Let's do this shit really quick.
Exactly.
But yeah, we talked about our albums of the year, and Glory wrote paragraphs for it for whatever fucking reason. I talked
was
off the
good.
cuff as I always do.
Yeah.
Uh,
As I always do too. It's just that one. I just didn't want to be like, this is my number one because I liked it.
because it had Louis Tomlinson on the cover.
Exactly. Yeah. Stanley Tomlinson. So, anyways, are you ready to start?
I was
You
going to
wanna
talk about
kick
the
off?
Silly Fest, that little tiny thing we did at the
Oh
end
my
of December.
god, we have too many things.
Glory,
Okay, yeah.
it's the half year in review. Why can't we flex the festival too?
Flex
It
the
happened
festival.
in the second half of 2020.
It did. Did we flex the Good Noise Fest in
Glory,
the
that
first
was
half?
6 months ago. I can't tell you what I did yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I'm pretty sure we did because it happened. We did it like right after.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
should have. Yeah.
So
Okay.
we did a fest. It was quite successful.
Biggest thing ever.
Biggest thing ever.
Yeah. Leeds Festival was quaking. Like
Yeah.
they called us and they're like, you have to stop.
You have to stop. You have to help us put together the next one. And obviously we said no. We're
Exactly,
too busy
because
for
this
that.
is our thing.
We're putting together our own festival to compete with the Leeds Fest. We're actually going to do it
Yep.
right next to theirs
Yep.
in the UK. During that
Isn't that
same
like
weekend as
TanaCon?
well. Yeah, this is just TanaCon, except we won't try to kill people during it.
Exactly. We won't compress you all into a building that's enough for like 20 people.
So yeah, Glory's been trying to get me to shut up for like the past 5 minutes. So
Let's start.
July.
Let's get this over with. Okay.
There were only a couple albums worth talking about in July. The first one was
5.
Zeeberg's album "Get Z to a Nunnery."
So true.
I tried asking Zeeberg what the name of this album meant, and she pretty much told me she wasn't going to tell me because it's self-explanatory and wasn't going to explain it to a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I was quite
I still
offended.
don't get it. But
So Zeeberg, if you're watching this, I'm still offended, still mad at you. But I like.
and I'm
this
still
album.
confused.
Yeah, how? I'll tell you later. And so I like this album. It's not my typical genre though. It's that like laid back acoustic, vibey bullshit that I typically don't listen to, but it's
Yeah.
Z-Berg, and we love Z-Berg here, so I like this
We do.
album. And yeah.
That's why I wrote paragraphs for my top 10, by the way. That's why I wrote paragraphs.
She wrote paragraphs for these, so I could just read them, and then you could go, yeah, I said that exact thing.
Exactly. I wrote that, actually. This was a really good album. It was her first album, right? She did like EPs beforehand.
For her solo project, yeah.
Yeah, solo, yeah. It was good. Great. Exactly. This is why I write paragraphs. It was really good, and Z-Berg, come back on the podcast to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever you're doing over there. Whatever you're doing.
I'd just love to pick your brain. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Neck Deep. Ooh, Neck Deep released an album. All distortions are intentional. This album wasn't good from what I remember, because I looked at it and I was like, I should re-listen to some of the things on here, but just my memory of just how much I really just didn't enjoy it, I just kind of left it. And I said, I'm gonna let Shane carry this one because I saw you listening to it. So my opinion is it wasn't that great.
Lori's opinion is whatever mine is. So I listened to this album last night again for the second time, as I did with a couple other of these records, because I was like, I don't remember a single fucking thing from this album, if I'm being honest, besides that I hated it. So I still didn't like this album all that much. I think Neck Deep has better stuff from what I've listened to.
Yep.
But this was substantially better on the second listen. I gotta pull up the fucking track list. My Spotify's closed and my computer will like explode if I go to open Spotify. So I'll go on the web app. I gotta look at the fucking track list though.
Going on the web.
That's the wrong playlist.
Nice.
Okay, so Low Life is still a banger, and Pushing Daisies is not as good as Belmont's Pushing Daisies. I think that's my entire review of this album.
Of the album.
It honestly, it's not as bad as I remember it being. It's a little bit more listenable, but they got much better stuff. This is like a flop at like the 1975 level, except they didn't try to do 7 million genres. They just failed at doing pop punk, which is their fucking genre.
God, that's worse than mine. Mine is just, I didn't like it. You're just like, they failed at their own genre. God, dude.
I mean, at least the 1975 failed at like doing indie folk, hard rock, punk, electric, the genre
EDM,
that they've been doing, indie, country. They failed at everything.
Everything under the sun.
Yeah. They just fucking failed at pop punk.
Wait, the 1975 was the one with the
No, it's not a conditional form from May. You liked it.
Yeah, I liked that one.
Yeah,
because I was trying to figure out the one song that I really liked. Yeah.
People's a banger. That's the only good song.
I'm not going to take offense to that because I didn't make it, but I'm offended. So.
So Broadside dropped Into the Raging Sea. This album I listened to again last night too, and this is much better than I remember it being.
Oh my! How many times did you listen to it before?
What? 2 or 3, because we got it early and I listened to it when it came out.
Oh my God.
So only 2 or 3 times, you know.
I listened to it like 10 times when we first got the stream.
Oh yeah, because you were like, oh my God, we got an album early. Oh shit.
What is this?
And then listened to it 700 times. But I've only listened to this album a couple of times, but this was much, much better than I remember it being. And even that slower closer is one of the better ones from this year, because I know I nitpick every single closer because it's about the only thing I know how to talk about.
Yep.
So all thumbs up from me, Ollie, if you see this on your timeline.
Good job, Ollie. You're doing great. This was actually my number 7 on my album of the year list.
I forgot that.
You forgot that? Bruh. This was one of my favorite albums that was released this year, obviously, because it's on my list. Whatever.
It's crazy.
It's a really good album, and it's solid, and I said everything in the album of the year thing, so just go watch that, because I don't feel like saying it all again. But it was a very, very good album, so solid. Black Veil Brides released a album, Restitch These Wounds.
No, absolutely not.
Moving on.
Absolutely not. Creeper dropped an album, Sex, Death, and the Infinite Void. I remember listening to this when it came out, and I tweeted, I was like, oh shit, this Creeper record is better than I expected, and they retweeted it, so that was embarrassing. So, I mean, I don't like the way the record opens, but there are a couple of songs in the middle where I'm like, oh shit, this is pretty good. And then I sat down to listen to it again after it came out. I was like, oh shit, I can't get through this record. So I agree with Glory. This is a fat meh.
it's listenable,
Hmm.
but it's just like not something I would go back to, in my opinion. I don't listen to Creeper. They're not like something
Creeper
I
just like I look at them and they're like, shit, this should be a metalcore band, but
Creeper,
they're
yeah, the name
not.
sounds like metalcore, yeah.
They look like it, and they look like they should sound like it, and that name looks like they should sound like it, but they're like
Hmm.
glam rock or some shit. They're up there with like Palais Royale, except not as annoying.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That
It
like
doesn't really
indie
fit
rock, alt
the.
rock, glam rock kind of thing.
Yeah,
That
they look like it should be like Corn, Creeper, Slipknot, Tor,
yeah.
but it's not.
Well, I mean, they're all on the same label,
Oh,
so it's possible. That's another thing. They're on Roadrunner, so like you would
yeah, so
expect.
it's.
Like, but Roadrunner also put out Corey Taylor's solo album, so I don't know if they got
And
any
Water Parks
standards
is
over
also on
there.
a rap label.
Yeah. Second thought, the label means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. We're going into August now. Cheers Pricks released an album, Third Eye Opening Scar. This is a very, very good album. They premiered it through our first festival, Good Noise Fest 2020. That was our summer festival. And it was very good. My parents liked it. So that's a win.
That's a win.
Honestly, that's a win.
I didn't put this one on my album of the year list. So I'm not entirely sure why it would have been in the honorable mentions, but this
Hmm.
is one of the better DIY releases from this entire year,
Definitely.
and we've listened to a hell of a lot of them. Like, and we don't even talk about them all, just in like personal listening time because we have
Yeah.
to listen to a lot of fucking DIY this year.
A lot of DIY.
So Not a Toy dropped an EP called Not a Toy. How funny is that? This EP is only on here solely for the song Anecdote because it is one of my favorite
You'll
songs of
always
this
the
year.
one song.
Homie, Anecdote.
It's a good song. It's a really good song.
It's a
I'll give
really
it to
good
that. Yeah.
song. And Benji, what a nice man. You can go watch our interview with him on our YouTube channel. It's called, I don't know.
Talking about Not a Toy with Benji from Not a
No,
Toy.
we flipped it around because the self-titled ones get flipped around. That's why I'm not entirely sure what it's called.
Well,
Talking
it's
with
you'll
Benji
just
from
look
Not a
up
Toy
about
about
their new
their
EP,
yeah,
Not a
something like
Toy.
that.
Yeah.
It's up there.
You'll
Just search
find
up Not
it
a
if you just
Toy. You'll
Good Noise
find it.
Podcast, not a toy talking about Benji. You'll find it
Benji.
somehow.
We haven't talked to very many Benjis. You'll find it. Go watch
Yeah.
it.
Hmm. This was a very good EP. I remember again these things where we get them early. It makes me want to listen to it like so many times because I feel like man, well I
I'm
get to listen to
cool.
it before everybody else. I'm so cool. So I listened to it like maybe 10 times because it was an EP and it only had like four or
And
five
that fucking
songs on it.
player just like
It
loops
just
the shit out of it.
doesn't stop. Exactly. So I just kind of look at it and I'm like, oh, you're going again? Okay, sure, sure. This is a very good album. And I remember I disagreed with you on the best track on there. I can't remember which one it was, but it
I
was
think
like
your
maybe
favorite was one of the first tracks.
yeah, it was like the second one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And I think it was a single because they released like 2 or 3 singles off of a 5 single EP.
Yeah, it was
most likely.
strange how many singles they dropped. Fearless
But
Records, shaking my head.
Fearless. Mm-mm. Anyways, Stand Atlantic dropped one of Shane's album of the years, Pink Elephant. This album slaps, and it is. I'm waiting for them to blow up. Honestly, I'm waiting for a With Confidence, 5 Seconds of Summer, and Stand Atlantic tour. Only because they're all Australian, so
It'd be easy to pull it off. I finally caved and bought this record on vinyl last night.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Was it a variant?
Yeah,
Was it
it's the only one that didn't sell out because it was like it's limited to 2,000 or something. I can send it to you later if you want to see it. The variant looks nicer in person than that mock-up does. I sent it
Okay.
to Sam and she was like, "Dude, this looks like a baby vomited on the vinyl." And then I was like,
Wait,
I went.
it's not like pink?
No, the pink one sold out. There was a pink
That's
one, there was a blue one, and then there's like this. It's like a white bottom, but it's got like green and pink like swirl splatter things on it. That's the one I bought because it's the only one they had left.
I
Because
can see why it was the only one they had left.
well, I mean, Sam was like, it
Makes
looks like a
sense.
baby vomited on this. And I'm like, okay, but like look at the actual thing on Discogs. Like look at the actual pictures, and she's like, oh, that's not as bad. I think she was just saying that so that I would shut up about it. But I bought the fucking vinyl because it's one of my albums of the year.
Yeah. It's like it was your second.
Yeah, the only thing, and I say this every single time we
Oh my
bring up this
god.
fucking
And we
album,
both agreed on it.
Drink to Drown. I don't even know if it belongs on the album, but it
No, that's
certainly
what we
doesn't
said
belong in the middle.
God.
I know
It's
there was a
just it
song you
doesn't
guys cut, put that one there instead.
Switch it.
Switch
Switch
it.
it. Call it the Shane version.
The Shane version.
Just yeah, not the
Shane version of the
deluxe
album.
edition, the Shane edition.
Yeah. You came on the podcast, Bonnie. You can do that.
You can do that,
Speaking
it's
of
fine.
which,
You know us.
we interviewed Bonnie. You can go watch that interview on our channel. It's called Talking About Pink Elephant with Bonnie from San Atlantic.
That was a good one.
Slaves dropped an album, Two Better Days.
Mm-hmm.
This album was very good as well. I gotta find my favorite song because the Eye Opener, absolute
Yes.
banger.
Absolute banger. That was my favorite as well. I'm pretty sure.
Absolute banger.
We spoke to. Oh God, I shouldn't have started that because I don't remember names. Colin. We spoke to Colin.
That took me
from
way too
Slaves.
long. I'm so
Dude,
sorry.
Dude, we've spoken to like 50,000 million
Holy
people this
shit.
year.
My brain
Oh my
like
God.
broke. I'm like, okay, I gotta like go back.
The fact that you
Fuck.
remembered it. Oh my God.
Well, I would have just went on the channel and like made you keep talking and then shouted out the name when we were like on Point North or some shit.
Colin. Like, okay.
Okay.
No, we spoke to Colin about Better Days, and it was a very good interview. I
This
really
was one
enjoyed
of the
that one.
the first like very big interviews that we got.
Very
And we
big.
both like shit our pants. We're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we're like doing this for real, aren't we?
Exactly. It
Yeah.
was good. Very, very good album, and I'm pretty sure we got that early as well. I'm pretty sure it was after, like directly after Broadside, because we were like, oh my God, we're on a roll.
Yeah, we got it. Like we had to reach back out for the record because the interview was on a Monday and she wouldn't give us it until that Friday or
Yeah.
some shit. She like reach back. I'm like, why? I'm not gonna leak it. Like I'm gonna get in
Who
so
do you
much
think
trouble
we
if I
are?
do. Like I can't do that shit.
Is that like you trace it back to us anyways, so
Yeah.
why would we even
Come
risk
on.
that? But very, very good album. I meant to put it on my honorable. A lot of these I meant to put on my honorable mentions. I just forgot.
I mean,
Because-
honestly, that's valid. I just realized that the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 albums from August of 2020, we chatted with the bands at least once.
We are so rich and famous.
We're just unstoppable. We just don't sleep, if
Absolutely.
you can't tell. I haven't gotten a good night's sleep since last March.
You got sleep?
No. Hey, Gloria, you want to introduce the next one?
Yeah. Gold Flame. I put a space in between gold and flame just for you, Jackson. Released an album, The Burnout Generation. Very good album. Again, this was supposed to go in my honorable mentions. I just forgot. So many artists.
I honestly, I haven't listened to this record since we got it early.
Are you serious?
I just, like, I've listened to other things.
This world.
And I bought the CD too, and there's like a bonus track on there or something.
You got the CD.
I haven't even put the CD in my CD player. It's just sitting on my shelf. But
Just sitting on my shelf.
Late Bloomer is still stuck in my head. Like, as we're talking about this, it's playing in my head right now.
As it should.
So, like, I think that's enough to say that this album is that good that I only got a chance to listen to it a couple of times, and it's still, a couple of tracks on there are still stuck in my head.
My favorite one was the last track, because I remember I spoke to Jackson about it. I don't think he knew it was me, because we were on the Good Noise podcast account, but I was like, oh my God, because we were doing a listen through together. It was so cool. And basically he did like this, or they did this thing where it was just like, it was playing and then they just walked out of the room and you could hear the door closing. And I remember I was just freaking out about that, just like, oh my God, I love when bands and artists do that. And they were just like, oh my God, yeah, it's the coolest thing. I did that on the fly too. Like, I didn't even plan that. And I was like, that's so cool. And it was just, they're so nice. I love them so much. Every time we interview them, I always look like I'm gonna kill them, but I'm just really tired because we always end up interviewing them at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So.
It's like 10 o'clock at night after doing 4 interviews before that.
Yeah, and I just can't match the energy after that. I'm just like, please, I just want to go to bed.
I'm the one that's trying to like match their energy, but even I'm struggling to do that. And Gloria's just sitting there. She's like, she's DMing me. She's like, when is this gonna fucking end? I can't do this
I never
anymore.
said that. For Gold Flame, I never said
Can't
that.
fucking do this anymore.
No, I just say like, I'm so tired.
I'm so tired, Lord.
I never. No.
But
don't
Jackson
say
has
that.
been
I
on the
love Gold Flame.
podcast what 5 times. They're
Too many times.
They're second next to Noko, who's been on a total of 6.
My God.
Speaking of more bands we interviewed, Point North dropped brand new Vision.
Banger.
I don't
Again,
even-
Honorable
I
mentions.
don't even know if this was on my honorable mention or not. But No One's Listening, absolute banger. Same with
It
like
was on your honorable mentions, yeah.
good. Same with like most of the songs on this album, absolute banger.
Banger.
None of those stupid slow songs to really slow down the album. And we
Hmm.
chatted with Sage about the record.
That was a good one. I
That was a
really
good one.
enjoy Stage's like vibe. It makes me so happy.
He was very excited for that one too. It made me very
Yeah,
happy.
which is crazy because it's like you know who we are. We're like five, right? You know that.
Yeah, like
It
you
was
do know, I'm like, yeah,
like, so you're just gonna say the same
yeah.
thing.
I was going to say the exact same thing as you,
Oh my
and make it
god.
somehow less funny. And I just decided I wasn't going to say it at all.
Thank you. Kill the Lights released again one of Shane's album of the years, The
This one was on
Sinner.
the album list. Yeah,
Yeah. We actually spoke to again. I don't know. I
Jordan.
started who we Jordan. We spoke to Jordan from Kill the Lights. Very very good interview. Kill the Lights was the one where I was like, I listened to the stuff that was already up before I listened to the album. I was like, oh my god, this is terrifying. And then I listened to the album. And I was like, oh hey, this is
Well, it
actually
took you a couple
not as
tries to like
terrifying.
get the album going. I remember
Oh
this.
yeah, because every time I started it, it was like and I was like, okay.
Um, I think
My
I said
review for
this.
every Scream album.
Yeah, I think I said this during the big podcast or chat about album of the year, but I thought this release was underrated and that Fearless didn't push it hard enough.
Yep.
But that's where I'm gonna leave that. I like the album, and it's something I still come back to. The Killers dropped an album in Plotting the Mirage.
Bad.
I fucking listened to this last night because I hadn't listened to it since August, and it was one of those albums I didn't fucking remember. And the first song is good. Caution is okay. Everything else is awful. I don't know what happened to the Killers. I mean, I never really thought they were all that good, if I'm being
Mm-mm.
real. But this is certainly not it in the slightest.
Horrible.
Not good. Speaking of
Delete.
other bad albums, we got a couple of them in a row.
The Front Bottoms released a
Bad.
new album. Okay, fix your album title. In Sickness and in Flames. Bad.
Bad. I listened to this one again last night into this morning. Awful way to start off your morning, listening to the Front Bottoms, even if it's one of their supposedly good records. But this one
No, no,
ain't
no.
it.
Didn't you say that like all their fans were like really disappointed with this one? Or was
I
that another one?
think so, maybe.
Yeah, because you said it was like it wasn't received as well as their other stuff because
I
it was
didn't
just like they
really
did something different.
I didn't really follow it. I'm sure there's plenty of records that are like that, but I didn't really follow this one. I was just like, this is bad, and if anybody else thinks it's good, well, their opinion's wrong. And now
Fix your
everybody is
opinion.
like shitting on the Front Bottoms anyway, rightfully
As they
so.
should.
So I'm glad I'm not seeing any more Front Bottoms praise on the TL because I never got the hype for them. Um, the Score dropped an album, Carry On. This album was bad.
That's all we're
Very.
saying. Seether, dropped an album. Oh god. Siva's Passum Parabellum.
That's close enough. I remember when we chatted about this. You and I were both disappointed that wasn't as heavy as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was like it
Me,
wasn't.
a person who doesn't even like heavy stuff, was like, this should have been more heavy.
Yeah, it wasn't even like butt rock because like there's like that very specific like tinge to butt rock. It's got like
Yeah.
almost a country feel to it, kind of.
Yeah.
This was just like straight up radio hard rock.
It was in that weird middle ground where it was like you don't know what you are, you're a little confused. You're not like metal and you're not like rock and butt rock. You're just kind of like that weird, I'm trying to please everybody, but it doesn't work out.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Paris.
Like it's I yeah.
Out of everything, out of those 4 albums in a row that were like questionable,
Oh god, this is the best
this
one.
is the best
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So take that as a compliment because it was listenable. I enjoyed it when I listened to it. I was just
Exactly.
disappointed that it wasn't
With
as heavy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. We both just thought that it was just going to be heavier by the name because I don't listen to them. And just like, I'm like, oh, that's a scary name. Okay, let me listen to it. It was not scary at all.
And
What's up with
even
that?
like the album title like struck me as something that would be like super heavy because like
Exactly.
Behemoth names their albums like that and they're like death
Yep.
metal, and this was like hard rock but had a death metal name, and it was like make it make
It was a little
sense.
confused. It was like Panic from Ashes to New. That's in a couple albums, but it was like, remember we were just like, it looks like a
It looks
2010
like a
like
album.
pop album.
But let's save that for like
Yeah.
two from me, two from here. Paris dropped an album, Use Me. I enjoyed
Good.
this one. Still haven't listened to it again, but I enjoyed this one. I've been meaning to listen to it again.
It was on your
Glory.
honorable mentions.
It
From
was.
Ashes to New dropped an album, Panic. Now we can talk about it. The album cover confused me so much because I never listened to them. I've never listened to them. So this was my introduction to them. Saw the album cover, I was like, this looks like some young Panic at the Disco mixed with 2010 band that wants to make it in the pop scene, and then it was just like metal.
Yeah.
What?
The press release I got for it calls it metalcore hip hop duo, kind of like no, not duo, like combination
Trio?
thing.
Oh, like
Yeah,
mixture,
like
like
mixture of the
combo.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
I
that it was bad. It's just it caught me off guard.
it confused me when I listened to it.
Yeah.
Like there were definitely a couple of standout tracks, and I mean,
Mm.
it caught my attention through the ads that they were running with a couple of songs on the record. So
Hmm.
those songs immediately caught my
Hybrid.
attention.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just thought it was all right. Not my favorite release of this year, but it was definitely one of the ones where I was like, I want to chat with that band. Just because I thought it was interesting what they're doing.
Hmm.
From
I
like a
liked
musical
it. It's
standpoint.
just the album cover confused me a little bit. That was it. That's all I
Yeah,
have to say.
we had a very long conversation about the album cover during that
Literally
podcast
just
episode.
not the contents, just the album cover. Can we talk about that for an hour and a
Gloria
half?
and I nitpick on the stupidest shit.
Yeah, the music was okay. Let's talk about the album cover though. What's that about?
Lovely the band dropped an album, Conversations with Myself About You.
This
I didn't get a chance to listen to the entire record when we chatted about it. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
really?
real.
Yeah. It's like an
So
hour.
whatever opinion I had on that was honestly just half-assed. Uh, so I listened to it in full today, and what I took away from it is it's listenable. I enjoy it, and it gives me 1975 vibes when the 1975 were still making good music,
Interesting.
like that indie rock.
Kind of
Like
lo-fi,
yeah, but
little
this one was like a lot more
doodad.
poppier
Mm-hmm.
and upbeat. Whereas obviously the 1975 has those songs, but they're more like that indie side. It's like that pop version of the
It's like they're
1975.
brothers,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm pretty sure I was like kind of like on the fence with it. I was just like it was okay, but it wasn't like the best thing I've heard. But after listening to it, yes, thumbs up, approval, very good. Arcadia Gray, Oolong, Guitar Fight Fooly Cooley, and Danny the Street dropped an album, Fatal Four Way, Split.
I got a bone to pick with these fuckers. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I wanted to have all four of them on the podcast and the record label
Mm-hmm.
to chat about the album.
Oh,
And, I just thought it would be fun to have like 10 people in a Zoom call and
I
try to
would have
conduct an
cried.
interview. I
Yeah.
just thought that would be really cool. And it fell through. So that's why I have a bone to pick with them. And I haven't attempted an interview with a split since then.
We should have tried with the
Yeah,
the
but it had
Cliffhanger
like
one.
it had a band off of this one.
It
So,
had Guitar Fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give up. Like we'll visit that one in like 2023 when I'm
Yeah.
feeling
Just
like
no,
it.
just say 2030.
Yeah.
I can't see myself doing that.
But outside of the bone I had to pick with them, which is 100% a joke, please don't like go on Twitter and start canceling me. I don't really care.
A joke.
It's a
Yeah.
joke, please. I like the split, but the thing on Twitter was like who won the
Who
split,
won?
and
Yeah,
I
we
don't
both agree it was
remember
Oolong.
who I said, but I
We
know
both
you
said
said
Oolong.
Oolong. Oh, we did.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
said yeah, I was gonna say Oolong too, and I was like yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I'm a
Oolong
Oolong
won.
stan
Yeah.
before he
Yeah.
won.
I haven't listened
Oolong
to it
stan first.
since then, but Oolong definitely won.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't like this split as much as I liked the one from December though.
Oh really?
I
Oh
like
yeah,
that one
yeah.
more because it's got Cheem on it. It's got
Cheem. That's all you need
Cliff
to say
Diver.
for me, Cheem.
Yeah.
And then it's like Cliff Diver,
and it's
and
like,
then Guitar Fight, Fooly Cooley.
and then Guac.
Guac. We haven't. How have we not interviewed Guac yet? Because I remember Prince Daddy brought him up, and then
And so did
Tilted brought him up.
Oolong.
Oolong. Literally everybody DIY has brought them up one way or another, and we're always like, oh yeah, we know them. We've just never.
Well, Kit
So-
from Guitar Fight is in that band.
So we kind of spoke to them.
It's like it's only a matter of time. It's like we're just sitting here waiting for like new solo stuff, not like a split. We're waiting for like the new.
The Guac's new release.
The Guac stuff, and then we'll be like, all right, you have no choice. You are coming on the podcast.
It's fate.
Yeah.
So,
but I also said, I think when we chatted about that split, that Guac scares the shit out of me, and that's the real reason why I didn't have him on the podcast.
They scare you.
I didn't know that
we spoke to Kit.
I didn't know Kit was in the band until like maybe a month or two ago. So their Twitter presence.
So after we interviewed.
Yeah. Their Twitter presence scares the absolute shit out of me. So I was like, you know what? Out of all the DIY bands, I'm just gonna ignore this one for now. I'll come back to them eventually when I'm feeling a little bit more confident. Not feeling very confident right now.
Oh, that's hopefully when they release something, we'll be there.
Yeah, hopefully Kit won't kill me in DMs or something.
Fame
on Fire dropped an
September.
album.
We're in September.
Oh, we're in September now.
September.
Fame on Fire.
My month.
Glory month. Fame on Fire dropped an album. Levels. I like the way this album opened. It was metalcore, and they're like a covers band. So to see them actually put together a solid album that when they're really just known for their covers was nice to see. And then they went back to doing covers like right after they dropped this record. So
yeah, Fame on Fire was the one who did like the Adore You cover, right? I think they did a cover.
Maybe no.
Like they upload covers to YouTube.
They upload covers to YouTube and Spotify. They might have done an Adore You cover, but didn't.
Sure.
No, Charming Liars did the Falling cover. I was going to say it wasn't a Charming Liars, but they did a Falling cover.
It was like, I'm pretty sure this is the band I'm thinking of, because is it a female fronted?
No, that would be the band Rayanne liked that we kept talking about because they did covers every week and dropped an album every week.
Because they did like an Adore You or Watermelon Sugar. They did like one of his singles.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly, yeah.
Couldn't tell you the name of them to save my life.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Okay, but like our listeners will just telepathically connect to my brain and they'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Exactly.
We haven't talked about that band in a while because Rayanne hasn't been on the podcast in a while.
Yeah.
So.
Unless they release like another Harry Styles cover.
Yeah,
then
of course.
They're here. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember this, so I'm just gonna piggyback on what you said. So, good job. My brain always hits roadblock when I see their name. Declan McKenna, okay, released an album, Zeros. I really liked this album, mainly because everybody in the I Don't Know How server was like, oh my god, Declan McKenna released an album, and I was like, oh my god, and then everybody in the Brobeck server was like, oh my god, Declan McKenna released an album, and I was like, oh my god, and then nobody in the Panic server said anything, so I was like, okay. Yeah. I thought it was good. I liked it. A lot
of our British friends like this dude. I thought it was all right. I liked it more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
But his music.
It's like the Paris album, where it's like we didn't really know, and then we listened to it and we're like, oh, hey.
It wasn't like a pleasant surprise though. Like I knew what I was getting from it. I didn't know what I was going to get from the Paris album, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. See, you've never heard Paris like on the radio.
I know I've heard them on the radio, but I've never like sat down and be like, I'm gonna listen to a full Paris album. Today. Like kind of the same thing as the Killers. Like I've heard Mr. Brightside.
No, the Killers is bad.
Well, listen, Glory. I know they're bad outside of like maybe like half of Hot Fuzz, or Hot Fuss, whatever the fuck the name of that stupid
It's
record
like two
is.
songs off of
Hot
Fuzz.
Like 2 or 3 songs.
Fuzz. Yeah.
And it's all like the ones that were played on the radio anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
So I really don't have to listen to the record to know what the album sounds like.
Best hits, 2 songs.
So it's kind of the same thing. Is like I'm not gonna sit down and listen to the Killers. I wasn't gonna sit down and listen to Paris either until I was like, oh shit, they released a new album. I guess it's time to listen to Paris on my own time. Marilyn Manson dropped an album.
Bad.
We Are Chaos. Honestly,
no.
Okay.
Yeah. Fit for a King released an album.
Okay. I'll just talk about Fit for a King instead. I could talk about this for days.
Say what you want. About
honestly,
Marilyn Manson.
I didn't think it was awful.
Oh my god, no.
No.
Fit for a King.
No. Shut up. I'm gonna mute you. I didn't think it was the worst thing I've ever heard. Like I listened to it, I was like, this is kind of a vibe. But it was Not a good Marilyn Manson album in the slightest. And I saw this shit in the store today. I wanted to take the vinyl and snap it in half.
But
Cause
then you'd have
this,
to pay for it.
well, no, I would just walk out of the store and be like, haha. And then they'd be like, you can't come back to this Best Buy. And I'd be like, haha.
Good thing there are 3 others.
Yeah, good thing there's one 18 miles from me. That's the second closest one. So maybe
Exactly.
I shouldn't break the
Yeah,
vinyls.
maybe you should break the one 18 miles away and then keep the one near you, like,
That's a
available.
good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Fit for a
Yeah,
King.
bad. It was bad.
Bad.
I didn't like it at all. Like, the vocals, I didn't like the vocals. It was like,
For the record, we're not
Smashing
talking about Fit
Pumpkins.
for a King.
No,
We're
no,
still talking
Marilyn
about
Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I didn't like the vocals. It just sounded badly produced from what I remember. It just, I was not a fan at all. And also, Marilyn Manson sucks as a person.
He's a
So
poopy
that
head.
makes it even worse.
Yeah,
Pick a struggle.
He's a poopy head.
So,
yeah, he's definitely.
anyways,
Yeah.
Fit for a King released an album, The Path. This was one of Shane's album of the years, which is pretty cool. It was a very good album. We spoke to
Tuck about his solo project or his other project, not about Fit for a King.
Yeah, that was Off-Road Minivan.
Yeah, we never.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, we never got a
was a
chance
really
to
good
talk to him about Fit for a King.
Okay. So if you want to watch the Off-Road Minivan,
It's on our channel somewhere.
go watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it. It was good. It's a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like this record. I think it was like number 3 on my list or some shit.
Yeah,
Um,
I could literally see right here.
it was very good. It was a good album. It didn't slow down, which makes it a good record. And I've been listening to like Moths to Flames a bunch, so that just means I've been listening to this record as well a bunch because I finished the Moths to Flames album, and this record just comes on. One of the songs comes on every single time right after that. So I've listened to this record like 4 or 5 times in the past like month or so.
As you should.
Yeah. Not like sit down and be like, I'm gonna listen to Fit for a King Day. It just comes on. I'm like, this song's a banger.
Why not?
Yours truly dropped an album, Self Care. We chatted with Michaela about this one.
Very good
You
album.
can find it on our channel somewhere. I don't know.
Just look up Michaela, yours truly. You'll find it.
Just yours truly. The Siamese Souls is a banger. Composure, Together. Pretty much the entire record. Like I could go here all day and just be like, every single song on this album
Every
is a banger.
single song's banger, yeah.
So
My favorite was I think it was in the middle. For
probably
some reason, number 6 is coming to me. I think it was number 6.
well, it did like it followed like that pop punk formula that we had this year, which was like it slowed down in the middle and had like that slower song. So that's probably the one that you're thinking of.
No, it was like it was something about like fit, like not like fit, but just like
Undersize?
undersized. Yep, undersized. That was a really good one. I really like that one a lot. Yeah, good album. Thumbs up. Napalm Death released an album, Throes of Joy.
So I know Gloria doesn't have much of opinion on this one.
No.
So when I saw the genre grindcore, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna scare the shit out of Glory. That's the only reason why we're gonna talk about this. And I was like, I'm gonna scare the shit out of myself too, because like different genres of metal, if I haven't listened to it before, typically give me a headache on the first couple listens. So I already had like one of those headaches like starting to brew in my head before I started listening to this. And then I listened to it, I was like, I don't know why we're calling this shit grindcore, because like it probably is. I don't know my metal genres, but it wasn't as heavy as I expected it to be. So that kind of disappointed me. Like it didn't like blow my eardrums in half, and like that's what I wanted from this record. But I liked it enough. I just thought that like the term grindcore is a little aggressive for what they're doing, unless they've just gotten lighter as they've gotten older, because they've been a band for like 40 years or some shit.
Oh my god.
So Movements dropped an album, No Good Left to Give. I decided I would re-listen to this record today because I didn't like it much when it came out in September, and I was disappointed that I didn't like it all that much because I saw the internet like losing their shit over it. So I listened to it again, and I tweeted from my personal account that I listened to this record again and I enjoyed it on my second listen. I'm not sure if it's because it gets better with each listen or if it's because I'm sadder than I was in September. I still can't figure it out, but I like this record a lot more, and I made a funny tweet out of it. So, yeah. I listened to it both times in my car, too. So that's what I wanted to share about my listening experience with that album. I've listened to it both times in my car.
That's great. Knuckle Puck released an album 2020. This album was really good, even though I got two songs in, and then the opening riff for one of the songs made me go on a wild goose chase for another song. What was it like? Nevermore, never. It was
Never
the
Meant
Never Meant. Oh
by
my god,
American Football.
American Football. That song, they have like a riff and it's like so quiet in the background, but it's like the opening, the same little what I can't even do it, but it's so good. And I remember I was asking people on Twitter what it is, and I was spelling it out, and they're like, "What the heck are you talking?" I downloaded one of the song things where it's like you play a song, you hum a beat, and it'll find it for you. And I was like, "What the heck are you
I
doing?"
remember this quite vividly because you were driving me insane about this too. You weren't just
Because
driving Twitter insane. You were
mm-hmm,
driving me insane. I'm like, Gloria, I don't
everybody around
fucking
me.
know.
And I was like, "No, you have to help me." And then I found it and I listened to it like 50 times. And then podcast time came and I was like, shoot, I didn't listen to all this album because I was looking for this song.
Because
But
you
it was
thought it
very
was
good.
oolong for the longest time.
Yeah, I thought it was the intro of Roxy's and Cigarettes, but it wasn't. And I was like, it should be because it sounds like something that Oolong would write.
Hmm.
But like, I don't know. It was really good though. From what I heard, very good album.
So I'll talk about the album itself.
Thank you.
Uh, I also
I want to
listened to
put
this
on
record
Nevermind.
today because this was another one where I was disappointed that I didn't like it as much as I was expected to, or Twitter expected me to, because Twitter puts a lot of pressure on you to like certain albums. And if you don't like that album, you have the wrong opinion. Because
Get out.
music has one opinion and then the wrong opinion. Anyways, I like this record a lot more on the second listen as well. Not as much as the Movements record though. This one was still kind of fell a little flat for me, but not as hard as it did that first time through. I like the song with Derek Sanders from Mayday Parade a lot more. I like the
Mm-hmm.
opener 100 times more. And then like those first couple of songs up until like that Derek Sanders, and then a couple more after that, still kind of had my attention. And then those last couple definitely kind of lost me there. But
Mm-hmm.
all in all, I thought this record was much better than whatever I said about it 4 months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Sundress dropped an album, Home Remedy. We chatted with Trevor about
Yep.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on our channel as well. It's a good interview.
We spoke to a lot of people.
We chatted with a lot of bands. I don't know. I thought this record was good. I only have one gripe with this record, and it's that motherfucker song. That's the acoustic one.
Yeah.
I still got a gripe. I still got a bone to pick about that one. But other than that, I like this record, and it pleasantly surprised me too. Um, I saw the press person giving it a lot of love on the internet too, so I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, this must be good.
Yeah, it was a very good album. It was on my honorable mentions because I liked it that much. It was I don't know. It's
Ain't you
very
getting a
I'm
vinyl of
gonna
it now?
Yeah, I have a vinyl of it now and it's so pretty. I can't
Rude
wait to get it.
Records has some of the best pressings in the game. Like them
Oh
and
yeah.
Pure Noise have some of the hottest pressings out there.
Yep. Yep. Even if it's just like a plain color, it's still like so
It
vivid, you
pops,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to get all my vinyls from
But
Rude
their splatter
Records.
pressings are always worth like
Oh
the
my
extra
god.
dollar or two that they charge for it. It's so much
Dude,
hotter.
it's like a crystal white
Hmm.
and then it's like little specks of like gold. It is so
I
pretty.
thought
I'm
about
so excited
buying
to
it
get it.
after we interviewed him.
You should.
I should have, but like I'm poor, man, and I just wanted the
Same.
happy vinyl, so I got the
Yeah.
happy vinyl instead.
Happy vinyl,
The
worth it.
happy splatter vinyl.
Oh
Whew,
my god.
God,
See, I got a happy vinyl, but it's just red, you know?
still the
So
red
it's
one's
like
hot.
it is, but it's not the clear.
Like if the clear one had sold out, I would
Mhm.
have bought the red one.
Yeah, the
Like
red one's very nice.
it
Yeah.
is very nice. I haven't seen that one in person though. I know everybody on Twitter that was showing off their records got the splatter one.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Hopefully they still retweet mine, even though it's not the fancy one. But
maybe they will. I mean, they retweeted you talking about the album and talking about how you shit your pants when they
oh
saw
my
your
god,
fucking.
dude,
That's on
that made me
Twitter.
so
That's
happy.
on their Twitter now.
I cried. Deftones released a new album, Homes.
Meh. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was all right. We talked about the remixes. The Neighborhood dropped an album. Chip Chrome and the Monotones. I still don't like this record. I listened to this again today. I still don't like this record.
I would, I would, I would say it's good. I liked it because I liked most of the songs on it. I liked the little party one, like the little party when they're in the little party place. I thought it was really nice. And the thing I don't like is how, as we said, they try to do so many genres in it. I'm pretty sure if we were talking about them or the 1975, they're all the same. Lovely to Band, 1975, The Neighborhood, they're all the same. But I liked this one. So good job, guys. This was my vibe. Um, ugh. Machine Gun Kelly dropped an album, Tickets to My Downfall. You liked this one,
I like
and
this one
I'm
a
like,
lot.
it was on my worst releases and honorable mentions because it's like it was just like I hated it, but then it was also like it was okay because it's like I had such high expectations since I listened to Machine Gun Kelly when I was little, like 12 and up to now, but like not that much. I listened to like 4 songs. But it was just like it was I wouldn't listen to it again ever, but it's there if I want to.
It was very generic. I'll give it that. But what really sold it for me was the bonus tracks. That track with Bert and Youngblood. I really like Youngblood when him and Machine Gun Kelly do songs together.
I love Youngblood so
I
much.
think that Youngblood's song with Machine Gun Kelly on Youngblood's record, I think that the song they did with Travis Barker to like kick off Machine Gun Kelly's pop punk era was really
Yeah.
good. And I
Oh,
think
I think I'm okay.
yeah, and I think that Body Bag with Bert is also very good. But like this record is all right. It was one of my album of the year. But what really pushed it forward was those bonus tracks. Not the Target one though. Target one can go
Mhm.
fuck itself.
Yeah, and the Misery Business cover.
Yeah, that's I sent
Hate
for
it.
Machine Gun Kelly.
I
Uh,
saw. Did you see? You saw Pulse's
I commented
reposted
on that
that.
one.
Oh my
Uh,
god. I just I looked so happy there and not burnt out.
Imagine, um, and that song with Trippie Redd. I hope it.
You
I
hate it.
hope it never graces my ear. And the other thing,
And the
those
other interludes
the
with him
interludes,
being
those
high,
suck.
we had this exact same
Those
conversation
suck.
on the
We had the
album.
same conversation during the album of the year podcast, and I'm sure
Yep.
we had the same
When it
conversation
came out.
during the yeah. So we've had this conversation 3 times. Gloria and I are world famous for doing this. If you're new
Yep.
around here, Gloria and I just have the same conversation. We bring up parks like at least twice a
Oh,
month.
we need to talk about this now. We need to talk about this now. Okay, so I don't care. We're about to enter October. I don't care. Whatever. Parks is gonna release a new album this year. My friend is theorizing that it is a cinematic album because Austin keeps using magnet emojis. So I think that's really cool, and I think Parks would be a great band to do that.
I think
Like,
Parks would be a great band to come on the podcast.
I think Austin, Otto, and Jeff should come on the podcast and tell me what their death row meal would be.
Me too.
I feel like Austin would say something stupid like babies.
Austin would be like a very interesting person to interview, and like I'm
I'm
gonna push
so
very hard once I know that that album has a release date.
Yep.
I think that they already said January was gonna be Park's season,
Yep.
so there's obviously gonna be a single, and since he's calling it Park's season, that very well could come with a release date for the album. Although I think that's kind of premature.
I think maybe
To
near the end of the month, maybe they'll start teasing a release date like how they did with like Friday 8 o'clock. They're gonna do that
Yeah,
again.
well, I definitely see him. This could also be his way of teasing towards that release date
I
already,
don't
because
I
he
don't
never does the same
understand.
thing twice.
No.
So
Oh, and there was another thing. He kept spamming like different letters and stuff in all of his past posts. People decoded that with the newest post that he did with a bunch of letters in it, and it was like out of hiding or something, or get to something about hiding. And people were like, is he hiding something on the internet, or does he want us to hide in the internet? It was just like a whole Parksies aren't the brightest bunch. I'm a Parksy, I can say that. So it's just like he's already doing a lot of stuff and people are already figuring out a lot of stuff. He's doing it better than 21 Pilots ever could. Boom.
um
Thank you.
so yeah, I mean, I know there's going to be a single this month. We just don't know when. And
So excited.
I know the release date will be for that UK tour that they're supposed to do. I don't know if it's
That's
going
not
to
happening.
happen.
No. They're
But
going on third lockdown.
we know that that release date will be before that tour. Because obviously if there is a U.S. tour booked, and that would be after the UK
Hmm.
leg, probably in the fall here. Um,
Yeah.
so it's only a
Hopefully we
matter
get
of
to see it.
time. We'll know that release date in the next month or so, and then we'll
Hmm.
talk about the stupid live album next week.
Funny live album.
Funny live album. Speaking of funny
It
album,
was on my album. It was on my honorable mentions.
yeah,
I haven't even
imagine.
listened to it, but I know. I know I'm gonna love it. You know.
It's just water parks, but they gave Austin a mic and said you can talk
Exactly.
as long as you want. We're gonna put it on Spotify, and he just
I
talks.
I love it.
He
I love
just
it so
talks, man. And one
much.
of the tracks is
Oh yeah,
seven
you
minutes.
watched the thing.
Yeah, I did, but they literally they didn't like try to cut out his talking parts on the album itself. So there is one of the songs turned out to be 7 minutes long because they put like 4 minutes of Austin talking to the crowd
Oh my
on the
god,
album.
I'm so
And
excited to listen to it. Wait, do you know which one it was?
no, whichever one isn't
The
supposed to be 7 minutes
7 minutes.
long, but it is.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I'm so excited to
um,
listen to that one. I love Austin so much. Okay,
Corey Taylor. Corey
we're in
motherfucking
October.
Taylor. We don't have to talk about this for the 700th time. This album was fucking
Bad.
awful. So bad. You can go back to literally any other episode that has the title with the name Corey Taylor in it,
Or just
or
any episode. We talk about it in every episode because we compare it like it's not fandom, it's
Corey
Corey
Taylor.
motherfucking
Uh,
Taylor.
or you can go watch the album of the year one, because we also had that same conversation for like the
So
10th
bad.
time in the past 2 months.
Bad.
But this album was just fucking awful.
Horrible. No, there you always say Black Eyes Blue or one of the songs on there is listenable and I'm like, no, it's not. And you're like,
Um,
yeah.
the last two songs on it, the rap
Yeah.
one and the punk one.
Yeah. No. Touche Amore released an album, Lament.
I liked it.
I just realized people on Spotify can't hear us shrugging, so
That's why I shrugged. I'm like, oh shit, I actually have to say something.
yeah, we
Uh,
both just shrugged. That's
yeah.
that's all you have to say. Next one.
Blood Bather dropped an
You mean
EP.
blood bather?
Shut up. Blood Bather. And the fact that they didn't correct me
Exactly. Dude, they
is
just
going to
kind of
make
like
me
they were just
look
kind of
like a
like
fool.
no.
I already fucked up your name.
Because I told you, I was like, I'm pretty sure bloodbath, and you're like, no, Google Translate is telling me bloodbather, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, it said Blood Bather. So I was like, I'm going to go in there and say Blood Bather. And then
bloodbather.
I fucked up their name. And then I fucked up the band name. And then I fucked up the name again.
It was
And it
great.
was
It was
just,
really good.
they were
They
cool about it.
corrected you, yeah, because
Yeah.
they said it, and you're like, oh my god, is that the name?
After we had already recorded the entire interview.
Yeah.
And then they followed us on Twitter for about 48 hours and probably decided we're too annoying to be on their timeline all the time. So
Which
they
is
unfollowed us.
fair. I get it.
Completely fair.
I
But
get it.
anyways, after Glory started bullying me, I do like this EP.
It's a very good EP.
It's a good EP.
Yeah. Solid. Scary, but it's good. It's a good album. EP. Tilted released an album, Corner of an Empty Room. We spoke to Tilted twice. That's cool. They were
It's on
very
our channel.
nice. Yeah, go watch it. This album's very good. They asked me which song on it was my favorite, and I said I'd answer it after the interview, but I was tired, so I forgot to answer it. But my favorite song on it was Never Enough because of the funny song by One Direction and also because it slapped.
The giggle
So,
one. The truly the giggle one.
thank you. That was it. Good job, guys. Good album. So true.
Mayday Parade dropped an EP, Out of Here. I don't know. It just sounds like Mayday Parade. It's
yeah, what you
like,
said when it first came out, you said it was like the bad Mayday
well,
Parade.
I mean, it's not even that it's bad. It's just like,
Oh, they kept using the same sound. They haven't
it
changed.
sounds like the same shit, and I'm getting
Mhm.
sick of it. I mean, it's one of the more listenable newer Mayday Parade things because I honestly haven't liked their newer stuff at all. But I don't know. I thought that, like, if you're gonna sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna get into Mayday Parade, need like a taster of the three different things that Mayday Parade offers.
Umbrella album.
This EP has the three different sounds that Mayday Parade makes with
Oh.
their instruments. The fast one, the kind of fast one,
Zoom.
and
Yeah.
the sad one.
That's it. That's it.
That's the three things that Mayday
Literally
Parade
it.
knows.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Wonderful. Yeah, you're the Mayday Parade fan.
I'm the lessons of a lesson in,
In
romantics.
Yeah.
Stan, nothing more.
That's it. That's literally
That's
it.
it.
Kulik dropped an album, Yelling in a Quiet Neighborhood. I
Banger.
love Kulik. Banger.
Banger.
Absolute banger. We got
Absolute banger.
to speak to Kulik, and it
Yeah,
was
this
really
speak to
cool
Kulik.
because I posted a picture of Shane meeting Kulik on the Good Noise podcast. It was like the third post we did, and I was trying to get their attention. I was like, haha, one of our hosts met Kulik,
One
and
of our
Kulik
6
did not
hosts
like
at the
it.
time.
One of our 8 hosts. Actually, 2 of them didn't even make it to the first episode, so they just dropped off and then just kind of went down from there. Yeah, because we
Wait
had,
until it's only one of us. Anyways,
2021.
2021, anything could happen. Young Culture dropped an album. Guess what it's called? Young
What is it called?
Culture.
You said it before. I could.
I'm sorry, Glory. Would you like to try that again so you can make the
No,
joke?
the moment's over.
Okay, so Young Culture dropped an album. Guess what it's called, Glory?
Young culture.
No, you're wrong. It's called Young Culture.
Okay.
Okay? You gotta pronounce it very fast.
Sorry. Young culture. Ah, I dropped my pen.
Holiday in Vegas. American Idol.
Banger.
That's all I have to say about this album. Absolute banger. Front
Laylo.
to back.
Banger. My favorite. So true.
So true. So true.
So true.
So true.
So true. So true, bestie. Seaway dropped an album. Big vibe. We got to speak to Young Culture. We spoke to
Alex
twice. And Seaway we spoke to Shane.
Fuck. Ryan.
Ryan. We spoke to Ryan from Seaway.
Yes.
About this album. Big vibes. It was a very good one. He had to stop his dog from digging a hole mid-interview. Really, really cool.
I mean, I can sum this album up in 2 words. I'm sure you could really guess these words. It's called Big Vibe.
Really?
That's how I summarize this album in 2 words.
Good.
It's a good album. Mrs. David is still stuck in my head, even though I haven't listened to this album in a minute. So,
those are always the best when it's like I haven't listened to this album in a year, but it's always stuck in my head.
Yep. Kingdom of Giants dropped an album, Passenger.
Oh my god, we have so many left.
Sadly, I didn't get a chance to listen to this record again, but I do remember it disappointing me. It not being as good as I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I released an album, Rats, Mats, Tats. And it was good. I forgot that it came out last year, and it did, and it was okay. You know, it wasn't 1975 or 1975. I don't know what year it was, but it was good. You know, the opening band should have opened the album. That's my first thing.
I just think that song shouldn't have been on the record, if I'm being real with you.
You don't think should have been? I think it should have been on 1975 because that's more of that kind of grainy. 1981. There you go. Because 1975 is the band. Nice.
That bad band, yeah.
Because it fits that more grainy kind of a little beat boop, but not really beat boop, but it's a better fit over there rather than on. But it's whatever. It's a little too late for that. I think it was good.
You want to just like blast through into like Monster Flames, because I know we'll have a couple of things to say about the last couple of October ones.
Yes, Ash. Oh wait, that's yours.
Ashton Irwin dropped down Super Bloom. I thought it was
very
okay.
good.
Glory liked it.
Nothing But Thieves dropped an album, Moral Panic. Okay.
I like this one more than I probably should have, but fuck this band. Fever 333 dropped an EP, Worst Generation. This one shocked the shit out of me. Fever 333 punches you in the mouth.
I thought it was good for what it was. It's not my genre, but I thought it was good. Noise Plant released an EP, Neutral Gray. I really liked this EP. We spoke to Noise Plant, very nice people, and it was good.
Good EP.
I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm.
Wild Ways dropped an album, Anna. I gained a new love for this record after we chatted with Tali about this album. It's very good. And it mixes Russian and English, so I can kind of understand what they're saying. So it's very cool.
Very, very good album, and I need to listen to it again, because after what Tali told us, it makes me want to listen to it again.
Yes.
Like Moths to Flames released an album, No Eternity in Gold. I don't remember this one.
I do. I've been listening to this record a lot lately. Habitual Decline, I'm going to go on record and say is probably one of the best metalcore songs to come out of last year. And just front to back, this album is just a banger and a half.
So true.
So true. Happy dropped an album, Imposter Syndrome. We chatted with Happy twice this past year.
Shut up.
Once about Cult Classic, and then about Imposter Syndrome as well.
And I cried both times. I almost passed out for the first one,
Yeah,
and
that did
then I
happen.
freaked out before the second one. That
Mm-hmm.
was really, really cool.
They
This
say you could see
album,
us for the second one though,
yeah, because
because
that's
you looked like a fool for the first interview when you had the painting right next to you. Yeah, and they
literally
couldn't even.
right
They said
there.
they couldn't even see us.
And I was like, oh, well,
That explains a
they
lot.
saw us the second time, and they pointed it out right away. And I'm like, is that? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is that called Classic behind you? And I was like, yeah.
I was like, yo, you actually see she stayed up all night last night painting Imposter Syndrome too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Same
This
as the
album,
record.
the record was great. I listened to it 25 times the night we got it for the stream we got, but like a month before it released. Very, very solid album. I've played it on my TV, so my entire house heard it. So that was really cool. My family likes Happy, so again, it's a win. My brother has one of their hoodies now because of me.
Banger.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Fox T released an album, Tight.
Banger.
Very good album.
Banger.
My 10th on my album of the year list. And Happy was my number 3? 3. I'm pretty sure 3. Because Pulses was 4. So, yeah, very. Pulses was earlier this year?
Yeah, it was in like
Okay, good.
April.
I'm pretty sure the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Anyways, very good album. It was my number 10. And it was just overall solid record. Very great introduction to the band. And a great debut. So, good job. Good job, Jade. Killing it.
And the rest of the band, because there's 3
And
of
the
them.
rest. Oh, but we only spoken to them.
I haven't
and that was
spoken to them
me.
at all.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
one interview I
me.
didn't go to. Bringing the Horizon dropped an EP, Post-Human Survival Horror. This was my album of the year. Front to back, absolute
Oh, I put
bangers.
album.
Oh my god. So good. And they've got 3 other EPs in this Post-Human little thing they've got going on. And it's like going through the stages of lockdown, which is cool. This was like made at the very beginning, so it's like
That's
all that
cool.
anger pent up. So who knows? They might like make Amo Part 2 and then make like a fucking electronic. Who knows what
I
Bring Me
don't.
the Horizon's gonna do
I don't
next?
know. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Do you know what
like
they're doing?
I know Ollie is has done some questionable things, but music wise, Bring Me the Horizon is one of the best bands in the game, and that is not just like me saying that. That's like an opinion that most people have. So
Wait, I didn't know Bring Me the Horizon was icky.
yeah, Ollie beat his wife.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
But
I
they're just really good. So I just can't stop
that
listening to
doesn't-
them. I know it doesn't justify it, Glory,
Oh my
but they're
God.
really good, so I'm going to keep listening to them. I
my
separate the art from the artist, whether Twitter likes that or not.
Oh my god, this world. Why is every band ever just
You
the
know,
worst?
I agree. Do you want to just like... I think we could blow through most of November.
Yeah, let me just poop. Let me look. I want to stop at right after Silverstein
Okay.
for the 2 there,
Okay.
and then we can just zoom through.
All right,
Yeah, we
sounds
could
good.
we could just zoom through everything else.
Okay.
Okay, November. Woo! AC/DC
Bad.
released an album, Power Up. Bad. Your turn.
Equipment. All You Admire. EP.
Good.
Their Finterfest set was good too. You can go watch it on
Very
our
good.
YouTube channel.
That was good. Cypher Site released an EP. Cypher Site. Good.
I like this. Aside from that one song, Bach or whatever it is. A Boy Named John dropped an EP. This is Lost and It Will Pass. Good.
Very good. I meant to put this on my either album of the year or just honorable mentions, but I just forgot. There's so many. I
Darn.
was like really happy
Fuck
with
music.
this album because it was very, very good. Like good, very good. Oh, Refuse dropped an EP, The Malignant Fire.
Disappointment. Kind of. Sorta. It was just like the lost songs from their good album. And they
Yeah.
were like, let's put this on EP. And I was like, this
Let's
isn't that
just-
good. Silver Scene, Redux 2 album. It's just a re-recording of old songs.
Yeah.
It's good for what it is.
Man Dancing, The Good Sweat. It's an album. Very good. honorable mention on my album of the
Yeah,
year. I
Glory
really,
got a newfound love for this album after he chatted with them. That
oh
interview's
my
not out
god.
yet, but it'll be on our
I
channel when it is.
I love them so much. I want to talk to them again. They're so much fun. They're gonna have me over for a bubbly water party once pandemic ends. I'm very excited
In
to
2035,
yeah, I'm very very excited to have a bubbly water party with them. They seem very
we'll be
nice.
like best friends with Louis Tomlinson by then, and you're gonna go hang out with Man Dancing to
Is
drink
that
bubbly
it's just
water.
I'm very excited. Yes, I'm gonna invite Louis
Of
Tomlinson.
course.
It's gonna be fun.
So
It's gonna be great.
Bearings dropped an album. Hello, it's you. We chatted with Dougie about the record.
Banger.
I told Dougie that this was just Canadian Saint Atlantic, pretty much without saying those exact words, and he kind of looked at me funny. But that's my review on this record. Like every single time we chat about it, I liked it though. I listened to it again today.
It's good that he says that because Pink Elephant was his second album of the year, number two. So that is a very good
Yeah.
compliment. But it's also kind of a backhanded compliment, as I said, because it's like you don't have your own sound, but then it's also just like you're very similar, but it's not like exactly like copy and paste, but it's just similar.
I don't know. That's just
Like
the vibe I got from it. I'm gonna tell them the vibe I got from it, whether they like me or not. They follow us back. He followed us back on Twitter though, so he
I
couldn't have
don't
been
think he
that
messed it up.
offended. No.
Yeah,
And he was
yeah.
excited when I joined the Twitch stream from our account.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Dark Tranquillity released an album. Oh, we're zooming, by
Yeah.
the way. Dark Tranquillity released an album moment. I don't remember it, so I'm just gonna say okay.
Sorry, this is on my honorable mentions. Hate Breed dropped an album. Way to the False Self. I mean, this was okay.
I'm
Not
pretty
as
sure
good
this
as I
was heavy,
expected it to
right?
be. Yeah, it was heavy, but
Yeah.
like, eh.
Smashing Poopkins released an album. CYR bad.
Awful.
Bad.
Billy Joe Armstrong dropped a cover album. No Fun Mondays. This was worse.
Bad. Somehow worse. God. Oh, Grandson released an album. Death of an Optimist. Good.
Glory, I
Very
don't know
good.
what
I
the
was
fuck
surprised.
you're looking at because we got Pollyanna,
Oh
Youngblood.
my god, how did I skip?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
how you
Oh,
skipped that.
December. Pollyanna released an EP. Sugarcoat. Very,
This
very
is very good.
good.
You can go check out their Finterfest set. It was good.
This was on my honorable
As
mentions.
it should be. I think it was on mine too.
Yeah.
Youngblood dropped an album. Weird. This was on my pleasant surprise category, which was just an excuse for me to have more honorable mentions. I liked I just think that it could have flowed better. But other than that, I enjoyed this record more than I probably should have. I just haven't come back to it because it's Youngblood.
Hollywood Undead dropped an album. New. Oh wait, I liked Weird as
Yeah.
well. Weird was very good, but we all know that already.
Yeah.
Hollywood Undead released an album, New Empire Volume 2. I
I mean, even the song with like, even that clusterfuck song that had like 3 or 4 bands on it was just.
Oh
like,
god, that was them.
Yeah.
Oh bad.
Like it was. It wasn't the worst thing, but like I don't know. They just like they've been a band for so long that they've like, and they've been doing the same genre for so long that you eventually like run out of gas after
Yeah.
doing this shit for
They just
20
need
years.
to take a nap.
You just gotta take a nap.
Literally, just
homies.
take a nap.
Like just take a
Yeah.
nap. Go back to the drawing board. You can keep doing your rap rock, new metal,
Or literally
whatever.
just take a nap.
Literally
Just go on
just take
hiatus
a
for a
nap.
little bit and then come back good.
Yeah.
Not oh god, that came out meaner than I didn't mean to come out mean. Just come back just like refreshed.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Go take a Fall Out Boy kind of nap and just make your post hiatus stuff better.
There you go.
Can't Swim dropped an EP as someone who isn't me. This EP also
Good.
pleasantly surprised me.
Grandson, Death of an Optimist. Very good. I enjoyed this
Shocked
one a
me.
lot.
Shocked me. The Network dropped an album, Money Money 2020 Part 2. We Told You So. Bad.
Bad. Ogbert the Nerd dropped an album, I Don't Hate You. I want to formally apologize to Ogbert the Nerd because I put them on my number 7, 8, 7, I don't know which one, on my top 10. I called them I Really Don't Hate You. My brain sometimes adds extra words into it to just stuff I would say. So it's just like it pieced really in there when I said I Don't Hate You. But other than that, very good album. One of my favorites, as I said in the top 10, it makes me feel safe. So good job, Ogbert.
Good
Your
album.
music makes me feel safe now.
Good album. I bullied them on Twitter today to check the DMs. So
And they replied.
yeah, you could only imagine what's coming from that. So
I'm very
we'll be
excited.
talking about that album
Yeah.
very soon.
Oh, I'd be meeting them for the first time. I didn't get to talk to them because
No.
my internet died, and then my phone died, and then my power went out.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll just do this one. It's fine. Like really,
Everything just went wrong.
it's okay. Big
Really
Aluminum
cool.
dropped an album. Oh look, someone's got opinions tonight. Good.
Banger.
Banger. Straight banger. Go watch their Finterfest set. And the last one.
To
from
end
2020.
off, this was mine. This
I was just saying, and the last one to end off 2020. Glory, you
Oh
now
my
have
god.
the floor. You may
Okay,
now
there you go.
speak.
Oh my god. Okay. Cliff Diver, Guac, Guitar Fight, Fully Cooley, and Cheem released a split shoujo beats.
Banger.
This was very surprising because usually when it's like that many, I get a little overwhelmed because it's switching so often.
Uh,
But this one was really good. It gave me an opportunity to listen to every single band and actually listen to their music instead of being like, here's a very quick song, then here's a long song, and then it's like really quick, so you're not able to actually process the music you're listening to and the artist that you're listening to and connect everything. This is very good. They did very well with organizing, so good job. And it has Cheem and Guitar Fight and Cliff Diver and Guac. I don't know Guac, but
we know the other
I
three.
like him.
Yeah, bangers.
So,
So anything else that was released at the end of this year? This is why I tweeted, why the fuck do bands release music so fucking late? We will talk about it next week. And so that it actually gets a proper discussion instead of burnt out Good Noise podcast trying to talk
see,
about.
you're saying that, but we're gonna have like 2 seconds
Like,
for
we're
each
gonna
topic,
have
and then
like
we're gonna
2
spend
seconds.
like 30 minutes for parks.
We're gonna spend
So
30 minutes on parks and on Not My Weekend, but like at least we're gonna like have like we can give it the thing because it's like it's gonna start off the episode, all that older
Yeah.
stuff. So like we'll be refreshed and like ready to actually chat about it instead of like at the end of this episode and I'm just waiting to sign off. So tune in next week for that shit. You can go follow us on our socials. We got Twitter, it's good_noise_cast. We got an Instagram, it's Good Noise Podcast. We got a YouTube. If you're not watching on there, it's Good Noise Podcast. We got all the streaming platforms under the sun, Good Noise Podcast. We got a Twitch. If you're not watching it on there, you can go sub to us over there. Patreon, we've got that, Good Noise Podcast. We're going to be reworking that at some point in the early 2021, so we can start pushing that a little bit harder. We got merch drop, haha, funny. Only a couple left, like what, 6 shirts now?
6.
And
Yeah, 6.
only a couple posters. Pick that shit up at goodnoiserecords.bandcamp.com. Glory's got your important plugs, the most important part of the show, and then I'll make I won't even make a joke this time. I'll just say what we're going to chat about next week.
Okay. I haven't been paying attention to stuff happening, except like there was one thing that was like big on Twitter, and it was the thing that happened in I think Nashville. I don't think I want to say it because it has like a no word in it, but the explosion
we know
thing
what you're
that
talking
happened.
about, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like what the heck, firstly, and it's I don't know if I want to go the racism route or just the make sure everybody's okay route or just the I don't even know what to say to that.
Let's just
but
not
it's
go
just
any
like,
route and just say that it happened and like go donate to whatever thing is
it happened. Go
thing
donate to the small shops and businesses that were affected, the people who were just affected by the blast. Nobody died, so that's great.
That's good.
But it's still just like it's I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on Twitch, but it's that.
What the
So,
freak, man?
what the freak, dude? That's
freak, dude?
not appropriate. Anyways, it's I can't laugh now because it's very
I know it's important, but I'm like trying to lighten the mood, dude.
I
That's
know, but
all.
in this point you can't lighten the mood.
Yes, I can.
Anyways, as always, Black Lives Matter. COVID, it's real whether you like it or not. It's I think we're at the 1.3. No, we're like over 1 million deaths worldwide.
I've stopped
We're
watching
at, like,
the numbers.
We're almost at 400,000 in the U.S. alone. So like, go America, or go U.S. USA, sarcasm. It's disappointing, and please just wear your mask, social distance, start shrinking your groups, your COVID bubble groups, because it's going to become inevitable if you still have a group. Like one-on-one person's fine, but it's just like, dude, just be safe, wear your mask, Black Lives Matter, as always. That's all I gotta say.
My COVID bubble is my girlfriend. I advise everybody do the same.
So everybody get a girlfriend.
Everybody stop being single. So next week, I don't know, we'll chat about the releases from 2020 that we didn't get a chance to talk about because we announced the fest instead.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Not My Weekend. Spoiler alert, the album is a banger. So we'll see you next week for the first real episode of 2021. I have been Shane.
Yay. I have been Glory.
And
Happy
we
2021.
have been Good Noise Podcast 2021 edition.